Welcome back to Parc Fermé Parlay with Kieran Downey. Breaking news, emergency podcast edition, but we all knew that this was coming. It was only a matter of time, and the news has just broke. That news being that Daniel Ricciardo is out at Racing Bulls. He will no longer be participating in the rest of the 2024 season and will be replaced by Liam Lawson. I don't think that this has come as a shock to anyone. I always kind of had in the back of my mind that this would probably be Daniel's last season. It was kind of common knowledge, I think, and quite widely accepted that he had made his return to the Red Bull family and that he would end up in Red Bull. That's what we all thought. We thought, especially after Checo's 2023 performance and the performance of Checo this year, we thought that maybe his contract wouldn't be renewed and Daniel would go in and be the second driver at Red Bull alongside Max. I thought that was going to happen and Liam Lawson would come in to take Daniel's position at VCARB for 2025. I didn't think it would end this way. I did not think that with 6 races left to go, the announcement would come that VCARB was dropping Daniel. To be fair, I made peace with it in Singapore. I think everyone kind of made peace with it in Singapore. Singapore was a complete and utter mess in terms of the whole Daniel Ricciardo situation. We went into that weekend knowing that we would get some form of news about Liam Lawson pretty quickly afterwards. Helmut Marko had said it needed to be done in September. The announcement needs to be done. The contracts needed to be signed. Otherwise, Liam Lawson was out of contract. He was a free agent. He could go and explore opportunities with other teams and whatever. I thought that the announcement we would get would be that he would come on for 2025 and Daniel would either say goodbye and this would be his farewell tour. These last 6 races, he would go out with a bang. That's what I expected. I don't believe that he will go to Red Bull. I think they're pretty certain and happy for some reason with Checo. I didn't think that he would race his last race in F1 and then just be sent off on his merry way. It feels like a bit of a disservice and a slap in the face to Daniel Ricciardo that has given so much. It is a complete mess, to be honest with you. We still don't know who's going to be lining up alongside Yuki Tsunoda in Racing Bulls next year. The announcement for Liam Lawson says just for the remainder of the 2024 season, so the next 6 races. There's no talk of 2025. There's not even a mention of next year. So we still don't know who will be with Yuki Tsunoda. I'm imagining it will be Liam Lawson. I can't imagine that even if Liam had a terrible time in the next 6 races, they would get rid of him for somebody else. I also can't imagine he's going to have a terrible 6 races, to be honest. He's a great driver. His 5 outings, I think he did in 2023, he did a great job. We all were heaping praise on him. And it's a fantastic opportunity for him. So I'm excited to see what he can do over the next 6 races. I believe we will probably get an announcement at some point during these 6 races that he will stay with the team in 2025. But yeah, it's that's the confirmation there. As I said, it's a complete mess the way Red Bull have handled this entire situation. The fact that we went into Singapore and everyone was talking about it. The commentators, the fans, the team principals were getting asked. And I said this in my post-quali review reaction, that Christian Horner was interviewed by Sky Sports and did a terrible, terrible job of answering those questions. He knew. You can't convince me otherwise that he 100% knew that this was Daniel Ricciardo's last weekend. And rather than giving him the dignity and the grace to go out and have a proper send-off, this whole scenario has been absolute nonsense. And I do not lay blame on VCARB as a team. I kind of don't even really lay the blame with Laurent Mekies. I don't even think he's the team principal of Racing Bulls. I don't think he's got a choice in the matter. I think he's literally being told what to do. But the entire leadership team within Red Bull that have made this decision, the people that sat around a boardroom table and made the decision of how to handle this, have completely and utterly fucked it up. Completely. It has been a mess. It's been an embarrassment. It is utterly wild, the decision making that has happened within this last week and a half. Like, insane. Insane. And it is such a slap in the face to Daniel Ricciardo to let him go out this way. It's such a slap in the face. It is an utter joke that they've sent him packing on his way like this. He deserved so much better. Daniel Ricciardo deserved so much better than this. The amount that he's given, it's wild. It's absolutely wild that they've decided to do it like this. And the outpouring of support and emotions from the fans, from the other drivers, the other teams at Daniel Ricciardo, the news that Daniel's leaving, shows that he deserved so much more than what he's gotten. I can't believe. There must be something in Liam Lawson's contract that means he has to race so many races this year. Because why at this point would they decide, let's get rid of Daniel, let's put Liam in for the last remaining races of the year? It doesn't make any sense to me. I really don't understand it at all. I don't understand anything that's happened with Daniel. I think, as I said, it's an embarrassment to Red Bull and V-Carb. It's an embarrassment to Marco and Horner and whoever else has played a part in this decision. It's just so ridiculous. And it's very sad to see it ending this way. It's very, very sad. I think that he, as I said, he deserved so much better than this, to be honest. And it's not going to be the same, to be fair. It's going to be a bit weird. I actually can't wait. I hope there's someone feisty in the paddock this weekend. I hope we've got a Nico Rosberg or someone that's not afraid to really give it to, and I hope they interview Horner and whatever and really sort of grill him on it, because this is wild. The other bit I kind of want to touch on is, before we dive into your guys' reactions to it, is Liam Lawson. Now, I've seen the comments left under the Racing Bulls social media posts confirming Liam Lawson for the rest of the season. I've seen the hate and just disgusting comments that have been left under there. I see them, and get a grip. Really just get a grip. Take a look at yourself. Do you think Liam Lawson played any part in this decision? Do you think this was his decision? No, it wasn't. If you do, just get a hold of yourself. He didn't make these decisions. He had no choice over when this would happen, how it would happen, how it would be announced, how the teams would handle it. He had no part to play in that. And he did a great job. He is very deserving of a seat in F1. We've all been saying it for a long time now. Everyone has said, can we please get Liam Lawson in? We now have him in. Don't you dare go underneath those social media posts and spew any hate towards Liam Lawson. He does not deserve it. And it is quite frankly disgusting, some of the things I've seen. So wind your necks in, please. In fact, actually, I'm not even asking you. Just wind your goddamn necks in, because it is it's such bullshit. Enough of the bullshit comments, all right? This, I imagine, is quite hard for Liam Lawson. He's just realised his dream. It's happening. He's been confirmed into F1, albeit only for 6 races. But he is a full-time driver for these 6 races now, most likely into 2025 as well. His dream has just come true under one of the strangest, most controversial circumstances of a driver move this year, to be honest, I would say. He does not deserve any of the negative comments or any of the bullshit and the slander. It's ridiculous, it's disgusting, it is not his decision, it's an opportunity. He would be stupid to turn it down. Of course he's going to take it. Shut up. As I said, I'd kind of made peace with it. I think everyone had made peace with it. We were all talking about it over social media across the Singapore weekend. As I said, everyone, I think, was in agreement that Horner had all but confirmed it. with that interview with Sky Sports. And then we had Daniel's emotional interviews in the media pen, and then this guard of honor where he came back to the motorhome and everybody stood outside and clapped for him as he arrived. And it just, like, you couldn't have convinced me that he was staying. There was not one part of me that was convinced that we would see Daniel Ricciardo from Austin onwards. I think everybody just knew. Everybody just knew and knew that he wasn't going to see off his career in a way that was dignified, that was what's the word I'm looking for? That was like representative of the career he's had these past 13 years in this sport. And I think everybody just knew and just wanted to do something because the chance wouldn't be there. And I just think it was so perverse the way that Red Bull and everything handled it, to let all of this go on and just, it's Thursday now. Like, come on. During the Singapore, just after the Singapore Grand Prix, I had actually put out a thing being like, just one last point for tonight. I think it's atrocious how the leadership teams of both Red Bull and VCarb had handled the situation. I was like, the behaviour is wild. And a lot of you on Thread seemed to agree. We had comments saying that any driver deserves better, but particularly one that was asked to come back and race for the team. It's disgusting as the gutless. They've allowed the rumours and pressure, the guessing games to continue without a scrap of support for Daniel. There comes a time when the excuse is it's a cutthroat business and you've got to be tough in this sport, need to be thrown out, and instead a bit of humanity showing. And then once the news was broken today, I asked again, how's everyone feeling? It's inevitable, but it shouldn't have happened mid-season. Completely agree. I expected it, but my heart is still in pieces. I agree. Gutted. Shouldn't have happened like this. I agree. And another comment saying you've misspelled betrayal there. It's a shame. It's a real shame that he's been allowed to go out like this, and I just think it's wild, and I completely disagree with everything. That man deserved so much more than what he's been given. It's been handled atrociously. It's a sad day, to be honest with you. It's sad that Daniel Ricciardo's not going to be there anymore. It would be sad even if he'd had his farewell tour. But it's just all a little bit more bitter that it just doesn't match, to be honest. The farewell and doesn't match what it should have been. And as I said, it's got nothing to do with Liam Lawson. Please just stop with the bullshit comments because it's utter nonsense. And I just can't believe Red Bull have let it happen like this. I just can't believe that Red Bull have gone about it this way and to go out. And the fact that we had no confirmation, there was no confirmation at all that Daniel Ricciardo was leaving yet. No actual official confirmation. None of the F1 posts, none of the team posts, nothing. And you had actual broadcasters like Sky doing montages of Daniel Ricciardo with a brilliant voiceover from Ted with, thank you for the shoeies, thank you for the butterflies, thank you for the, the smile and the laughs and everything. And they literally were doing farewells. Broadcasters were doing farewells on that Sunday because they all must have just known that there wasn't going to be a proper send-off for him. It's wild. It's so wild. And Daniel Ricciardo put up a lovely post today, saying, I've had an amazing time and, it's goodbye. And everyone, the teams, Mercedes, Alpine, Zach Brown, Lewis Hamilton, Pierre Gasly, George Russell, Lando, like everybody just has so much love for that man. And there's been some really lovely comments and quite emotional posts. And it's just, as I said, it's a very sad day and it's sad to see him go. So yeah, as I said, I think the only thing left to say is thank you, Daniel Ricciardo. And that is everything from us. We will be back with another episode where we'll be talking about Daniel Ricciardo and the whole situation with that fastest lap, and just a bit of a conversation about Red Bull and VCarb and how that relationship works and is it fair, and get your guys' thoughts and feelings on it, and we'll just have a little bit of a chat. But yeah, this is the end of a quite sad podcast. And that's everything from us. We'll see you soon. Have a lovely rest of your day.